Anyway, just on a random one, I've come to the conclusion that I think, I've had, and I still kind of have, commitment issues, and I want to talk about it.
No.
Yeah.
You know
okay.
what? You know what?
I'm in.
You
Take this from
messaged
me because I
about
keep playing with it. It's
Huh?
pissing me
You
off.
said you messaged me about that. That's real.
Yeah.
Right. Give us.
I identified it.
Jen, you in? Yeah, we're gonna go.
I'm
in on this.
100% in.
All right. Give us.
100% in.
Give us your worst fear
My worst.
when it comes to commitment. Give it to us. What is it? Paint the picture.
Wait, before the worst fear, like, where did this even come from?
No, we're getting to that. We're gonna get to that.
Alright, cool.
Just let's go. Like, what's the worst situation you could be in where you're like tapping the eject button? I need to get out now. Like commitment wise.
Okay, so it's not a fear. I wouldn't say that this is a fear, yeah? Because when I say commitment issues, immediately I think you might think that I'm saying I need to be with loads of different women. That's not what I mean by commitment issues.
We are experienced therapists when we don't think anything until you tell us.
Cool.
Innit, Jen?
Right, so that's not what that is. My commitment issues is, or this is how I've kind of how I've thought about it over time, is that I have this thing within me that I'm trying to break right now where I feel like I'm behind in life. Yeah. So because I feel like I'm behind.
I'm taking notes. Go on.
Because I feel like I'm behind in life, in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. I know these are I need to do this. I need to achieve that. I need to make this happen. I need to get this. I need to make sure that I've got certain things straight. Yeah. Now, at one point, I didn't think this at the time, but this is all in hindsight now, yeah? Being in a relationship for me was just an absolute no-go because I just didn't even feel like in my mind, financially was even ready to even be in a relationship. I felt like I could just about hold myself down. I could how am I going to be in a relationship with someone and I can't hold them down? I can't do this. I can't do that.
No such thing though, man.
Of course. I understand. I'm just telling you how my mind was thinking at that time.
Yeah.
But then, so that was quite a big thing for me. Like I'd meet people or whatever. And then when I felt like I was getting close to them, I'd literally just withdraw.
Duck out,
like if I felt like they were liking me differently, then I'm like, I need to get out of this. Yeah. So that was one thing. But then anyway, I had some real good conversations with some of my friends, whatever, or like two of them in particular. Then anyway, I felt like, all of that's foolishness. And plus anyway, to be honest with you, things started to be a bit better for me, making money, doing things, whatever. Jeez. But then I'd get into a situation, yeah, and then I'd still think in my mind, I'm a bit behind. And the moment that I feel in my mind that someone is saying something to me that is making me feel like I can't go out and do this, or I can't go out and achieve something or whatever, I might just take one little thing that somebody says and say to myself, you know what, I can't do this.
Elaborate a bit more.
So what do you mean?
So let's just say
you mean in terms of your goals? What do you mean?
Yeah, so let's just say, and I could completely misread this because it's something that's in my mind. Yeah. So for example, I could be with a girl, we could be getting on with each other, you know what I mean, seeing each other, having some fun, whatever. And then she might say, what are you doing this weekend? And I'll be like, I think I'm working. I'm not quite sure if I am. And then the time comes, and then out of the blue, something comes up. Because remember, we're self-employed. Anything can happen. Like in my life, someone could ring me tomorrow and say, yeah, boom, we need you to go to Scotland or flipping Eritrea or some shit like that. And I need to go.
Yeah.
So then if the moment that her face turns up to that, then instantly in my head, I'm like, you know what?
If you saying, I don't know what I'm doing this weekend.
And then something comes up and I get a vibe. I get a vibe that is
a vibe of disapproval, of disappointment.
Yeah, a bit of disappointment.
Okay.
Then I'm out. But I could be reading that completely wrong, and I understand that. Sometimes I could be reading that completely wrong. Yeah. Which then makes me think, do you know what? Right now, when you have that feeling that happens a couple of times, sometimes you just think, you know what? Right now, I just don't even want to be in nothing. Let me just try to do X, Y, and Z. Then I read Charlemagne's book, and
which one?
Anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a word that he said.
I need to read.
And there's a part that he described that I felt like was completely me. And the word was what was it? fuck? How can I forget the word? Complain. Let me see.
Complacency.
Compartmentalizing.
Compartmentalization. That was the thing. In there. It was
that's
a
a
yeah.
mad word.
Compartmentalization. Yeah, and like he explained it because it's like a thing where you've got a set thing in your brain. Yeah. And you're just so focused on that. Yeah, and you almost like trying to push everything else to the side because you've got this goal or this thing in your head that you want to have. And he said one of the best ways to describe that is like the people that have that are good at that are, you know, like an NFL player. If somebody's from the distance going to throw, I don't know the positions of them, but somebody throws the ball to them and then they jump and catch it. They're fixated on that ball regardless of if a 500-pound man is about to completely clatter into them. It's the same with like a striker, you know, like like someone passes them the ball and their eyes are on that ball, irrespective of a defender that might come and just clatter them. For me, that's kind of like how I have my goals in a sense where I'm like, you know what? I need to do this. I need to do that. Like everything else has to just be pushed back there. And I'm trying now that I understand that is what I'm doing, I'm trying to now like overcome that barrier a little bit. Do you get me? Because I know that it exists. Before I didn't even know that it existed. I just knew how I felt, but I just didn't know how to describe it. And I didn't it's just a feeling, innit? It's like, you know what? Like I'm focused on doing this. But then having a good conversation with one of my friends, I can't bother to go into everything that he said. But when I told him this, he was like, yeah, I think that you do. And one of the things that he said to me is like, you know, you're always saying that you want to do this and you want to do that first or whatever, but you have to understand that like a good woman wants to build with you.
That's what I'm about to say.
They want to do that. They want to be able to build with you. Like you should be able to do that together. And like in theory, I know that. Even though like he explained it to me in a beautiful way, which really made me understand, in practice, it's still a bit difficult. Do you get me?
Of course. Listen, you ready for the therapy session?
Go on, Jen.
Listen, cuz. I agree.
I like that it started
everything. Now I get what you're saying, 100%, yeah. But that was what your brethren said is exactly what I was just about to tell you. In a sense of, I need to put my phone up. In a sense of I don't know, obviously, if that stems from like a bad relationship you've had in the past, if that's just from a no relationship, just a straight, now I want to focus on this, that's how I'm seeing things going to go. I don't know where it comes from, but exactly what he said, like, if you keep doing that, you're going to get to a point where it's like, raw, you know what, there was like 4 or 5 girls who was actually like decent, and I fully just pushed them away and parred them off. And now, like I'm like almost like looking for it now, and it's just become a bit desperate. Now I'm in the clubs or I'm on flipping Tinder or some shit like that. You're missing out on good things. Best example I can give you is my own, fam. My ex-girl, I was with her for what, 5 years, fam. Since when I was like 14 or something like that. Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, we broke up over some just I can't even remember what it was, fam. And then flipping Rosie, who obviously you know now, my girl.
I know you. I don't.
No, sorry. You don't know her, but in the sense that you've seen her a lot on my social and shit like that. When I broke up with my ex, I said to myself, you know what? I'm not getting back in no more relationship, fam. I'm just gonna focus on this music thing, and I'm just gonna do this, and that's it. When obviously I met Rosie, literally, I wouldn't be able to do. You know about my depression, my anxiety, my suicidal, all that. Obviously, you're like one of the only people I spoke to about that. If it wasn't for that girl, 100% I would have been dead. So, as much as I could have been stubborn and been like, oh, you know what? Because of what happened with my ex-girl, I'm not going to do this. Oh, I want to focus on my music or this and that. Or, oh, I'm telling Rosie I got a show this weekend and she's saying, no. That's because the girl you said that to just literally just like, oh, I want to spend time with you. But she will understand it. You do your show. Everything's cozy from there. So it's just one of them ones where you can't push things away because if you get something like that, you just have to just...
But it's like, it's not even that. It's like... when it's that feeling of feeling behind, when you feel like you're behind and that you feel like you're supposed to have certain things or be at a particular place,
well, there's no such
that's
thing.
when it starts playing with you until you start to understand that, hold on a minute, maybe what you're trying to achieve is unattainable because it's like, okay, probably the best way to describe it, and I'm saying this to myself now, is like, okay, you get £1 million, like you strive for 1 million. I want £1 million because that's just my goal. I want it to be, I want that. So you get £1 million and then you think, oh yeah, boom, I got it. I'm happy. I got it.
Yeah.
And then you're
what?
like, right, okay, cool. Now I need 20, man, because £1 million's light.
Exactly.
That's light. What is that? I could just spend £1 and now I'm not got 1 million
Yeah.
anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? So do you know what? I need 20. Boom, I get 20. It's lit. Litty committee. I'm out with them, man.
I hate that.
Out with them, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm out. Furs. Yeah. And then you get that. And then you're like, that's not even really enough, because there's certain man out there that's got 100 mil. So it's like a constant thing. Do you get me? And I think that now I understand that. Like, I can't just keep thinking, okay, let me get to this milestone and then I'll do it. Because I get there and then I'm happy. It's Litty committee. Furs. I'm out with them, man.
Stop using the term Litty committee.
No.
You have to stop. I will leave.
No, you can't do that.
I will leave.
You told me to stop. I feel like it's there.
No.
Then it's like, you get me? And then I'm like, okay, cool, let me do this one. Let me get that one.
Bruv, all you're doing is just missing out on all the blessings that's coming true, cuz. That's all it is.
I like the way Jen speaks. It's funny because it's like, it's serious, but he says coming true. You're missing out on all the blessings that's coming true, cuz.
Yeah, but it's real though.
It's such a roadman ends way of telling the truth.
Bruv, it's true, man. Honestly, like, I promise you.
There's this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, yeah?
I've got that. Actually.
Have you read it?
No.
What's it called?
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I've heard about that, yeah.
It is the book, like, you know, people are like, oh, it changed my life, yeah?
I did read a book.
It changed my approach to my life, which obviously is in turn changed my life. And you should read it. The fact you've got it, haven't read it is really bad.
No, it's not bad. I'll tell you why it's not bad. Because sometimes I have books. That book was given to me, actually. But sometimes I do buy a book, but I don't feel like, for whatever reason, I'm not ready for it just yet.
Yeah, I'm
but
not ready for that lesson.
Yeah. So I bought a book called The Four Agreements. Yeah, I didn't even read it straight away. But then I tried to read it, but I just couldn't. So I put it back, and then when I read it, that's actually, anytime someone says to me, what book should I read on a self-help vibe, whatever, I always say, because that
without
book
even
helped
reading
change
it yet.
No, I read it. Then I ended up. No, when I felt like
the saying is that the teacher will appear when the student is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not ready for the lesson. But in this book, one of the things that it talks about is the world being zeros and ones. Yeah. And because there's so many zeros and ones, the only things that cut through are the really, really good things or the really, really bad things. Like, but realistically, everyone actually just lives in the center. So now, to get something or to be someone, or for people to know who you are, to have this feeling of accomplishment or whatever, you gotta murder 100 people or you gotta cure cancer. People don't want to sit in the middle anymore and just be ordinary. And he talks about, like, everyone says, you got the power to be extraordinary, and it's like, well, extraordinary is the word extraordinary. So everybody can't be extraordinary, because then it would make us all ordinary again. So you have to, like, the premise of it is, we care about so many things in our life, but actually you don't need to. And the more you care about, actually, is the more hassle that your brain gets of, like, you have to learn to be like, that is something I'm not going to give a fuck about. These are all the fucks that I don't give a fuck about these things. I'm picking 3 things to give a fuck about in my life, and those are my things. So it's like the subtle art of not being able to give a fuck about everything. Like, you're so aware of everything. You want to care about your goal, and I need to be perfect for my girl and have money to look after her and take her places and slap her bum with consent, like, and I need to be sick of my job and have these bookings and get sick drops on my Serato and, like, get flipping Vibes Cartel to give me a next drop from wherever he is right now. Like, you want to have all these things. You're trying to give a fuck about too many things. Like, it's impossible. You're a human being. It's impossible. You're a human being. And so my advice to you, from one of the wise people in my life, is that you have to find the passion in your life that you genuinely care about. If you had no eyes, no ears, no mouth, no smell, nothing. You got zero. What in your brain would you still care about? You can't see it, you can't even touch it, but you know in your body, in your heart, this is the thing that I love so much. That's the thing that you have to care about. Everything else is like just a byproduct of you being a person and being alive on the planet.
But you know what?
And you wanting to have this balance of like get my job right and my money right and then get this girl and That's not what life's about. Life is about finding the balance of all the good shit and all the bad shit and just walking straight down the middle of all of it and saying, but the only thing I do care about is whatever it is that you care about. And then all those other things will fall away. You'll be with a girl and you'll say, oh, I'm not sure, I might have a booking this weekend, I might not. And she'll be upset with you. In your head, you'll think, I don't even care what she thinks.
Well, that's the
I don't even care.
Ultimately, that is part of the problem, though. Because I think for me, there's not really a lot of things that I give a fuck about.
But you have to be honest with that to other people.
Yeah.
I think your issue is that you're pretending that you give a fuck. You're pretending that you really care whether or not you've got money to take your girl to Hakkasan. But really, you probably don't care.
No, I mean, nah.
Yeah,
because that's not a thing that makes me feel fulfilled. I don't care.
That's an example. That's an example. But your one of your things was that, you know, I felt like there was a no to all relationships because I didn't feel like I was financially able to look after whatever.
Yeah.
But really, for me anyway, I'm not you. I don't know. You can answer that question. Do you genuinely care about having money to financially look after a woman in your life, or in your head, don't you think she could financially look after herself?
Of course. So that's the thing. Like today,
so that might be a perception.
That thing there, like that element of finance thing there, that was like a past thing. Now that's not about. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything to do with a woman, really. It has everything to do with me. Because I'm thinking to myself, irrespective of anything, I got money now because I'm not rich. You know what I mean? I'm making money, I'm doing things or whatever. But in my mind...
Chucky's got a meal still.
Nah.
Trying to hide it.
I spent £1, so I don't know. But anyway, in my head, I'm like, you know what? I am not where I would like to be. I would like to be doing this, or I'd like to be doing that. So because of that, in my head, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about anything right now until, well, of course I do, like my friend, and stuff like that. Like I say all the time, I've only got like a small circle of people that I consider friends, and I love them dearly. They could ring me for anything. Like I care about friends and family and those type of things, and like, you know, that and my God and just my path. Because I'm like, right now, this year's been a sick year. I feel like I've done some stuff. Like I've been a lot more happier. I've like the team feels good, like everything, and I'm around some good people. Like I feel like I'm around some good people. But still in my mind, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I need to do this or I need to do that. So
why can't you do both then?
Do you know what? I feel like now that I'm talking about
the reward.
That's what I mean.
This is a very important thing.
This is it.
The journey that you're taking is the rewarding thing. Like, okay, personal example. I've got a charity shop right now with Maya. So we raise money for charity. We donate it to charity. In my head, all I wanted to do was make loads of money and donate it to a charity. That was my goal. That's my goal. If someone said to me, Julie, do you want to come here? No, I'm raising money for charity. That's my goal. But actually, the journey to raising the money has meant that I have now, like, actually organised and created a pop-up shop, like me. Never done that before in my life. Have run a website that sells clothes, has learnt how to light clothing and get a backdrop and use my phone and buy a tripod and set up my camera and learn how to mask and use path tools and shit in Photoshop. That's that whole journey of the thing that I wanted to do, which was raise money for charity. That journey bit is the reward now. That's the bit that's why I did it.
But let me tell you,
it wasn't just to raise the money.
Let me tell you
so
this.
if your head is the goal of like, but I want to get this,
yeah,
that goal's dead.
Of course.
The goal is dead until
I don't want you to think that I don't enjoy the process, because I love the process to bits.
Cool.
On the way of getting there.
Yes. Yeah.
But the problem that I have is sharing the process. In me being like, okay, cool, I'm going to share this process with someone, because it's a selfish thing, I think. It's like it's like sharing that process with somebody else, because I'm on anything that I feel like. See, like when I'm on the way of doing something, anything that I feel is gonna be any type of a distraction. Then I'm like, nah, do you know what? It's cool.
But wait, do you feel like so you see what you just said, yeah? Do you feel like your brethrens, like let's say I don't know, poet, and some of your, you know, the girl you told me about depression and stuff, and few of your brethrens, do you feel the same way about them?
No.
So you don't mind if they're there
So you don't mind if they're there
for the process.
for the process. You're blessed, right? You love them up, right?
Yeah.
So,
Do you know what?
Oh, I know
so,
what it is. Jen, let Jen land. Let Jen land.
Spot me. So, how come you're blessed with letting Poet come true, see the vision, help you out, let your brother come true, let this other girl come true, this and that? Why can't you do that with a girl? Because
with a partner.
don't think of it as
No, wait.
this.
End your question there. To answer
Yeah,
the
no,
question.
that's the question
Ask him,
basically.
why
Yeah,
can't you do
how
it?
come you feel that way?
Why can't you do it with
Why can't you do it with
your babes?
with your babes? Yeah.
Because the relationship between my best friends is different with my girlfriend in
Shouldn't
the
be.
sense.
Shouldn't be.
Okay. But the reason why I feel like it is because, see, like, let's take my closest friend in particular, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was there before everything, yeah? So we had this thing together where it was like, yeah, we need to do this, we need to do that, whatever. And then, like, on the way, like, he's got a family and stuff like that now. He's been able to do all of that stuff. For me, it's like, the reason why I think it's a bit different is because I don't even chat to there's times when I don't even speak to him for like a couple of weeks or a week and a half or whatever it is. But that love is still there. I know that sometimes, well, this is for me. Sometimes I feel like if I'm in a relationship with a girl or whatnot, I'm just mad busy right now. Of course I could text. I know that. I know I could send a message and just say, do you know what? Yeah, like, I hope you're okay, whatever. And I would do that. And I do those type of things. Yeah. But then that selfishness of then having to compromise all of the time by, you know what, like, I need to make sure that I set a bit of time aside. I have to do that with my girl. Do you get what I'm saying? We got to do some things together. We got to do all of that stuff. Like, it's just that selfishness of like,
that's not selfish.
I only want to do it when I'm ready to do it, and that's not fair.
That's not selfish.
But that's not fair.
What you're describing is the difficulty of balancing a relationship in your life.
Yeah.
That's what you're describing. And what you're saying is it's easy to do it with your friends and your family because you can say to your brethren, yo, I'm ghosting for a minute. Let me just quickly go and do this.
Exactly.
You can say it to them, but in a relationship, you can't say to your other half, I'm ghosting. They're going to say, what? So
Does
that mean that I haven't found the right person then?
No.
Should I be able to say that to my girl? Should I be able to say to my girl, do you know what, yeah? Right now, babes, like, I'm here. We can talk or whatever, but right now, like, I'm gonna be. You might not hear from me as much today.
I'm on
Yeah,
two
but
sides
like,
of this.
what
I
do
tell
you
you what,
say
I struggle
ghosting?
because
Because you can't ghost on your girl
Yeah,
for
but
a
what
couple
someone
of
that
kind of
believes-
ghosting are we talking about?
ghosting is like, bruv, I'm not like, I can't call you every day. I'm not gonna come out to your house this week.
I'd speak to my girl every day though.
Oh no, see, for me, I'm someone that struggles with this because
So
for me
you're blessed.
personally,
Wait, let her.
I genuinely do believe that there are. It's mad to say. It's not an age. I don't know what the thing is, but let's just say some people. I think certain people shouldn't be in a full-time serious relationship until there is certain something. I don't know whether it's get a certain job or whatever. I don't know if it's a certain age, but for me, I feel like my life would have been a lot easier if I would have been able to not be in a relationship and have to worry about having a boyfriend until I was like 27. It had to be in a serious relationship anyway. One part of me feels like that. The other part of me feels like, though, if I had got to my age that I am now with a job and a house and any guy that was chatting to me, I wouldn't trust him. And so
That would probably be the next barrier that I would have to come across.
So that's what I was going to say to you. You want to get this goal and thing, and then you're like, okay, cool, I've got that now. I'm cool to meet a girl. But the girls that you meet or women that you meet at that time, you're not going to really want to, like, your best friend that you've got now, you trust him with your life because, yeah, he was there when you had nothing and now you got stuff and he's still there and whatever. But that's because you've allowed him to be there.
Exactly.
But if you've got a girl that you're like, I don't want to be with you right now because I've got to do this thing, I'm going to ghost you, so I'd rather not ghost you. So let me just go and get to my, you know what I mean, get my money right and then I'll call you. She's not going to be there, and the girl that is going to be there, you're going to be looking at her like,
Trust.
don't know, you've seen me as this guy.
Yeah.
You didn't see me as
That
one
was
trim
big,
guy.
yeah.
Anyway, you
So
was out here.
it is a bit tricky.
You're gonna put yourself in some mad danger zone if you do that because you're gonna be like, yeah, right, I've made it now. Man's got the meal. Man's got the meal.
I can't
Yeah.
spend a pound. No?
Gallem, what you saying?
Can't spend a pound.
Man's
but
got
I'm
a
good.
million. Man's got a million and a pound.
I got a million.
I got a million, £1.
Gallem, what you saying? What kind of girls are you gonna get now?
Yeah, it is a bit tricky. It's a tricky one.
Whereas if you did the struggle with
the girl,
bruv, she's been there. She's been through the broke times and all this and that, bruv. That's the thing.
Can I just say?
I think you
I
need
just
to-
want this to be clear as well. This isn't. I don't want it to sound like it's just a money thing.
No,
'Cause
no,
it's
no.
not as
No, no, no.
superficial
I
as
think
that.
money's the
I
obvious
think
thing
it's
to say.
it's a inside, deep rooted, not a deep rooted thing, but it's a thing that I feel within.
It's
that I
valid.
know that I have to deal with within.
It's valid.
So it's like, because there's nothing. I understand now that there's not a thing that I could particularly achieve that would make me then say, I'm here
ready
now.
now.
Yeah. There's not a money I could make. There's not an achievement I could make.
Yeah.
I've realised that it's in here or in here. So I've got a in here or in here. Do you get what I'm saying? So I realise now that I've got to deal with what's in here.
You don't have to deal with it, because what you're describing isn't a bad thing. I think you just have to. I think you just have to learn to communicate. And learn the way that you're going to find the right person to communicate with, first of all.
That's it.
There needs to be a person that when you're communicating to them, they're like, what? If they're that person, then it's just air. Find the right person to communicate with, and then learn how to communicate.
That's it.
Because, like, you're struggling with the balance of what you're saying is, I'm struggling with the balance of a relationship with someone. I'm struggling with having to maintain a good relationship with a person, but also do things that actually... Sometimes I just want to be on my jacks and just do them. You're struggling to, and you're saying to yourself, if I can't find that balance, let me just sack that one thing off and then do that. But for me, the bit you need to tackle is that you are going by what I always say they, but you're going by what the orthodox version of a relationship is in your brain, of what you've been taught it is.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you're going by, in a relationship,
conditioning.
you got to do, you're in a relationship, this is what we've been programmed to do, and this is what I've been programmed to think a relationship is. But more, especially today and going forward, I think there are more people that understand that relationships that we were taught about aren't what relationships actually are. Because you could meet a girl who's ghosting you, who's like, oh, Chuck, I'm not gonna lie, I need to go South Africa for 6 months. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and she's not thinking, oh, he's not gonna be there.
I didn't love it.
You say you didn't love it. She's not
it.
thinking he's not gonna be there when I get back. She's thinking, this is something that I'm passionate about. I'm with someone who likes me and I like him, and he should understand this. And she might just go. And in your head you're thinking, right, I would never do that to her, because you're going with what you've been programmed to think a relationship is, where she's going with what actually works for her. If you met someone where it worked, you wouldn't even be having this conversation. If you just met someone
I do feel like I can, like, it's mad. I do feel like I know what I need to give to make a relationship work. Like, for me, I don't think I've ever had a problem making a woman happy. Like, I feel like I've always known how to do that. But it's just about whether I want to or not. So it's like, I get to a point where I meet a girl, whatever, I know what I need to do to make her happy, I understand her, whatever, we catch a vibe or whatnot, and then, like, so I make her happy, and then I'm happy in that moment, and then she starts liking me, and then I start thinking, boy, I don't know, I like, right now I've got things to do, whatever it is. Then she really starts liking me.
Yeah, you've
then I start
Jedi mind
thinking,
tricked
shit.
her, that's why. What you're saying is flawed. You're like Carlsberg. You know, if Carlsberg if Carlsberg did relationships, they'd be perfect. You know that.
Trust.
You know Carlsberg's slogan.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You're like,
yeah.
I know how to make a woman happy, and then you go in and you do the puzzle of making her happy. But you're not even.
I'm not there though.
You're not there.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
just doing what you know how to do.
Exactly.
But that's wrong. That is
course.
flawed. That's flawed from from point zero. That is flawed, because you've gone in and haven't even thought to yourself, I need to tell this girl that actually I'm not available Monday through Thursday.
Oh no,
Like,
no.
I need her to know, like, you're doing everything for her, but she has no idea that Chucky needs me to be this person for him.
No, but I have, in recent times I have. So, like,
And
for
what's
example,
happened?
so, like, I'll give you an example. Yeah, I had at a point met somebody or whatever, and at the beginning I was able to do X, Y, and Z because I was just free. It just worked out to be that way. My first 4 days, I just didn't have nothing to do, so we were just doing mad shit, whatever it was. Yeah, but I did say, I'm just letting you know, this isn't a true, accurate representation of
what,
how my life is.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be times where
Where
it's
this
just
is
mad
not
busy,
happening.
and this just can't happen. It just so happens to be, it's just right at the beginning. I agree with you in the sense that, like, I'm going into things and thinking that I'm just doing what it takes to make her happy, because in my mind I'm like, yeah, like, I want to obviously make a girl happy or whatever, and I feel like at the time I'm ready for it. But then I'm like, then I start realizing, I start thinking to myself, hold on a minute, she's happy now, she likes me, I thought I liked her and I thought I was happy, but I need to do this and I need to do that, and is it going to take away from this? And that's where my brain starts to do mad things.
Compartmentalization
exactly.
is real, yeah.
But that's the thing is, before I didn't know that I was doing that. I was just doing it.
Yeah, of course.
I was just doing it. But it was
gotta do
only
it like
until
3 or
I
4
sat down, I was
times.
chatting to my brethren on the phone, and I'm like, we was just talking about some stuff, and I was like, you know what, yeah, or even after I read that part in Charlemagne's book as well. But after having that conversation, I was like, I've got commitment issues, you know, bro. And then he said straight away, I think that you have too. And then I explained to him like what I have been doing in my things or whatever, and there's like almost some of the consistent sort of patterns within it. Do you get me?
Yeah,
well,
they're not commitment issues.
I was gonna say the term commitment issue sounds wild.
Yeah, that's why you thought we was thinking the wrong thing. Because you're using the wrong term.
When you said that, we thought, what? You're just gonna be whapsing left, right, and center. But
Whapsing's
I think
an interesting word.
I think I just made that up. I think it's more like a time management thing. I think.
Yeah,
time management.
Nah, but do you not understand that it is an element of
it is an element.
Like I don't like. I feel like I want to commit, and then I think, nah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I need to do this.
It is a commit, but just the phrase commitment.
The phrase might sound a bit like, it might sound a bit more.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
I disagree. I don't think it's commitment issues. I think you're projecting something onto someone else. You're making assumptions and you're projecting your own inner thoughts onto someone else, and then you're acting on those projections. And yes, that means that you're then.
I don't think I'm putting it on anyone. I think I'm putting it on me.
No, you're projecting it onto them of like, they're not going to get that I need to go, and you're projecting your thing onto them to the point you're like, you know what, let me just cut them off and get out because they're not going to get it. I'm not even going to try. You're not even trying to explain it to them. You're just assuming it's not going to go well. I've got things to do. Let me just, now you like me a lot as well, I'm just going to go. Then who knows, you might end up looking like an arsehole when you're not even an arsehole. You just need to get your balance right and stop feeling like you need to be the extreme and just live in a regular, normal space where everyone should live, instead of trying to do too much and be too much and go everywhere, and just there's a balance. You just need to get your balance right.
That's what it is.
Say as well, though, is
the balance.
You need to get your balance. Your balance is not right.
But just really quickly, Chuggy, how often do you talk to like your brethren, as in like just your brethren?
Like certified ones?
Yeah.
Like it varies. Like sometimes like every few days, sometimes once a week. What, sometimes not even like. Sometimes I might chat to one of my brethren and not speak to him for a couple of weeks.
So we're down.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, like one of my good friends, Wesley, my bona fide. I ain't spoken to Wesley in a couple of weeks. Well, I rang him when I was on the mountain. I was recording, so I tried to ring Julie.
I was on the mountain.
Julie, that shows I hold you dearly, by the way. I tried to call you when I was on the mountain.
I think sometimes people just know what my response is going to be, and it's more entertainment for them than it is anything else. I think he wanted my entertaining response.
No, do you know how much people I could have rang and how much people I did ring?
Could have rang gigs.
No, I did ring a bunch of people still. He wasn't the only person I rang.
Did he ring you?
See?
Oh,
my
kid.
I was on top of it. Don't do that. I check for Calum. But yeah, nah. So I rang him when I was on the mountain and that. And then he was like, what? Because he didn't even know what I was doing. He was like, he just answered it. And then I had no, that was my dad.
That was his dad.
He knew what I was doing.
His dad was mid-shave.
But I just had like gear on and flipping helmet. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? All now the cameraman's recording him. So I'm like, I've put it on the cameraman, and I'm like, bro, I'm on top of a mountain, bro. Then
that's like, why you rang me, because it was on camera and you wanted people to know that you knew me.
Jeez!
That's why I rang Wesley.
Joseph.
That's why I rang Wesley.
Wesley was 8th on the list. He rang gigs first. Who's the sickest person? He went down the list, and he ended up with his dad and Wesley.
Calum, me and you didn't get a shout.
See, that's not me, brother. Nah, sorry, Chuck. Sorry, no.
Madness.
All right, let's give him a solution, because you shouldn't bring a problem without a solution.
Yeah, so solution. Here's my solution.
Leave your jingles in the Serato, please.
You and them jingles, fam. My solution, the reason I ask you how often you speak to your brethren is because I was seeing, like, if you can do that, if he was going to say to me every couple of days, whatever, bro, it's the same thing with your girl. I'm not saying, don't talk to every single day, but your solution.
How often do you chat to your brethren?
My brethren?
Yeah. Like guy friends.
I'm
kind of.
girls
as well. Yeah, like, say it doesn't matter.
I'm like the same as you, like every couple of days, whatever.
But
like,
you got a missus though, so.
Yeah. Like, but this is my point. Like, I literally, obviously we don't live together, whatever, but I talk to her more than that's leads on to my point perfectly, because my ex-girl, I definitely didn't used to talk to her the way I.
I'm glad you two are not together anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I hope she's not listening to this. Like, fucking hell, he's murking. But the point I'm making is, I go to my brethrens. Whereas the point I'm making is, get yourself a girl that's just your brethren, fam.
I love you say get yourself. Just go shop.
Yeah.
Get yourself a
To
drink.
the point I'm
Bit
making
M&S.
is,
Get yourself a drink, some bit of chicken,
Get
and a
her
girl.
brethren. Yeah.
Really go to
My-
M&S.
my-
Mary and Sam. Go to Mary and Sam.
Trust me, because trust me, she'll understand it, she'll get it, all that time management thing. I get what you're saying 100, but like trust me, you just
My
get
thing
that
for
and she'll
you
get it.
is you need to you need to take things slower, I think. Because people, when I don't reply to my friends, they never text me and ask why you're not replying. Because they know me.
Exactly. So do my friends.
So you need a girl that knows you. She's never going to call you and say, how come she haven't spoken to me? Because she knows you. And to get a girl that knows you, she needs to know you.
That's what I'm saying.
And know you for a long amount of time before you start doing magical chucky tricks to make women happy.
Jeez.
And you just Jedi mind trick her into thinking, this guy's amazing. Let her get to know you. Don't reply to the message a couple times. Do what you naturally would do to your real brethrens. Not every day meet a girl and then woo her and you're trying to get with her and it's all very romantic from the beginning. Sometimes just meet a girl and think, she's cool. Let me actually just chat to her as I would chat to anyone and see if she's still about, like, so she knows me, so she can't turn around 3 months from now and be like, you used to pick up the phone all the time and now you never. It's like she'll never ever say anything of anything, any of those things to you, because she knows what you're like. You need, that's, for me, that's your solution. Meet a girl, don't pursue her immediately, just chat to her like you chat to everybody else.
Both of these things are linked, literally both of that, because that comes from the brethren thing that I said and what Julie said. Because if you have like a girl that's just lit, because the only example I can give you is like me and my girl. Like literally before we were together, we were just brethrens for time. As in, I was broke. I literally didn't have money and that. We just used to just do little things like go to cinema, go little Nando's and whatever this and that. It was just a brethren thing for time. So it got to a point where she understood me. Okay, this is what you want to do. Cool. The same way I talk to her as I talk to my brethrens. She gets it. That's it. So that them 2 points link. So there's no way she can say to me, what? But you used to take me and used to do me this and all this and that. It's literally this. Like, nah, like that's my G. Like she gets it. We're gonna go on this journey together where man and man's broke and all this and that. Get back into all I'm doing, the music, all this and that, and then she's gonna be there and that's it. Don't wait till you get the milli and then the gal them are gonna be
Million
like, what go on, Chucks?
1,000,001.
1,000,001. So you just need to just go and
Did
just
he do that on
relax.
purpose?
Is he still running?
Alright, when's your next booking? When's your next booking? I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm rolling, 100%.
Thursday, where?
Thursday. Shoreditch, I think.
Oh shit, I got show
Where
on
is
Thursday. I'll
yours?
just come link you afterwards. Yes.
I'll text you on it, you know.
Wow, you're rubbish at plugging your own bookings, but cool.
I might be doing a party, by the way, on the 20th of thing. I'll let you know.
20th of thing.
Of December.
Sure, I'll be
Chuck,
there.
you be going to invite me, yeah?
20th
Yeah, of
of
course.
thing. Oh, I'm not in the country.
That's shit, innit?
So,
Where are you going to be?
New York City.
That's shit, innit?
Genius.
It's cold over there, by the way.
It's
So you're going to
blitz.
freeze
I got
your
mad
arse off.
jackets. I got mad jackets.